Okay, so let's get this started. I just want to start off by saying I'm not a financial advisor, anything like that, right? I'm not gonna tell you how to invest your money or whatever, or, how to speculate on any kind of cryptocurrencies or anything like that. Um, I do not hold any stocks or anything like that. Not for me. I mean, I don't really have the patience for any of that crap. I like the volatility of cryptocurrency. It's pretty exciting. Something can go up 33,000% like it's nothing in a crypto bull market. Anyway, so a lot of you, like my friends and family, they been asking me, how do I get into this thing? So I just wanted to make a quick video, show you guys all the places that I've registered. And that I use. And the reason I use these is because they have API plugins for a tax software called CryptoTrader.tax. I'm not sponsored or anything by them or whatever. I don't get any money for any of this stuff. Like, I don't even know how a sponsorship would work or whatever, but throwing these plugs in just because these are the things that I use, and done a lot of research into that. So, it's all risky. Everything you do is risky in this game, but I use these platforms. So the Crypto Trader Tax, I use it for my taxes this year. Super easy. You can just plug in your accounts straight up to the software, and it does all the math for you. So if you're worried about even getting involved because of capital gains, capital losses, tracking everything like that, this plugin will do everything for you. So it makes reporting super easy, and it's not that expensive. There's another program out there that costs it's upwards of $700, and I'm not really about that action. So anyway, let's get started. So if you're gonna do this thing right, the easiest way is to get signed up with honestly as many exchanges as possible, and make sure that you're writing all your information down. It's super important that you write everything down on how to log in. A lot of this stuff is going to involve two-step verifications. Like every time I log on to Coinbase, this one right here, if I'm not doing it from my phone or whatever, even if I log off on my phone and log back on, I get like an email, a text message. Some of them use the Authy app or Google Authenticator. Make sure that you don't lose access to any of those things, because you could, just being wildly speculative right now, you could put in a couple $1,000 and then 10 years later, right, you forget about it, and then it's like, oh, you're a millionaire, but you can't even touch your assets. So that's that's not fun for anyone. So you want to get signed up on as many exchanges as possible. And the reason you do that is because it increases your on-ramps and off-ramps, right? So some exchanges that I use that I am fully verified on, Coinbase. And when you get signed up with Coinbase, you automatically get a Coinbase Pro account. It's your same credentials to log on. Same stuff. Coinbase is, you can think of Coinbase as like a dealer where they'll sell it to you. The fees are kind of high, whatever. It's super easy, great platform. That's the first one I recommend to people. The app is pretty cool. And all these exchanges I talk about, they have apps. Okay, so makes it really nice. But you want to get signed up. All right, get as verified as possible. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, how do I go about doing that? They are going to ask for pictures of your driver's license, straight up, and probably your social security number. I can't remember. They're going to ask for that information. The reason they do that is because it's called KYC AML, which is Know Your Customer, and anti-money laundering laws, right? They don't want people using the crypto space as like the Wild West, like it used to be, where you could just do all this trading and then not report anything to the IRS. So you're going to have to give them some information. That's just the way it goes. so that you don't skip out on paying taxes, even though all taxation is theft. But I'm not going to go into that right now. So Coinbase, you get a Coinbase Pro account, super simple. Uses your same credentials. Pro is where you can actually place bids and stuff. If you look over here, you can see that's kind of an example of what their platform looks like. It's pretty cute. It's got a Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever. This channel is called Larger Than Crypto, but it really should be Larger Than XRP because you guys know how I feel about that. Anyway, Coinbase Pro is where you're going to actually be able to place bids and all that stuff. Regular Coinbase is going to be like, hey, I'm just going to straight up buy this. What's the market price? Or sell it at that. So if you're doing like a lot of swing trading on Coinbase, it's probably better to do it on Coinbase Pro because you can actually set stops instead of just market buying and selling. So another one, Binance US. It's a great platform. Some people think Binance is shady. I've seen them do some stuff, that I was like, well, that's kind of questionable. But you know what? They're the largest exchange in the world. So, and then this is their American branch of it. There are some differences in the new platform, but for the most part, if you're just looking to freaking buy and hold, then it's another place to do it. Another one, Bitrue. This is real XRP heavy exchange. They're super big on it. They have this Power Piggy program, staking, and all this stuff. You can basically give them your tokens and they pay you. So you got an interest rate. You lock it up for 30 days. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the economics of it or whatever, but I don't really understand all this stuff. Like, how can they give you an interest rate on something that is depreciating? Like, that just seems like they're hemorrhaging cash. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they make enough money through fees or whatever. But all these, so Bitrue, and they just came out with this. Fortunately, I didn't do very many trades for this last tax season. So on this exchange, so I just had to manually enter everything in, and that kind of sucked. But as of like a few days ago, their CEO Wang, I'm not. It's WANG. Anyway, he announced that they had their API plugin. So it plugs right into this and any other crypto tax softwares, basically. It plugs your wallets into it so that you can. It's like a historical of all your trades, historical record. So on each of these, right, one thing I should add, I'm not sure about Bitrue, but Binance America and Coinbase Pro, they have fiat on and off ramps, right? So basically, you can use your debit card or your checking account to buy the tokens, right? So and when you sell them, you can deposit that money for a gain or for a loss, whatever you decided to do. You can deposit that into your bank account, right? The more verified you are and the more trading you do on Coinbase, the higher your withdrawal limits are going to be, and you can request higher withdrawal limits on Coinbase Pro. Mine are, and I can withdraw up to $100,000 a day on Coinbase Pro. It's pretty neat. I also linked my PayPal account to it it's just another way to get my money off of the exchange. When Moon, so we can all buy Lambos and cabins on the beach, however you want to spend your money. Binance, same thing. You can hook up your bank account. So one thing I want to add, right, for Coinbase, link your debit card so you can do instant transactions, right? Link your debit card so that you can do that. But also link your checking account. The reason you do this, right, is because you need to be able to put the money in your checking account. I don't think you can deposit through your debit card. I don't think it works that way. So you got to have both. If you choose to do just your checking account, keep in mind that it uses the ACH system, so it's going to take a few days before you even before your transaction even goes through. So you're not going to get that crypto for a few days, right? They'll grant it to you at the spot price when you make the transaction, but it'll be locked up. You won't be able to move it to cold storage or another exchange. You won't be able to do that until after the payment has cleared. So, and it's funny, right? Isn't there a cryptocurrency? I can't remember the name. XRP? Cryptocurrency is trying to solve that problem on a global scale. Anyway, so you want to link both debit and don't use a credit card. Please don't buy crypto with credit. Don't leverage your house or anything like that. It's I'm not a financial advisor, but I would never do that. I might sell an extra bicycle that I have in the garage if I'm trying to scoop up some ZERPs on the low. I don't know. Anyway, so you want to have as many off and on ramps. That is super important, right? I don't have the website pulled up, and I'm not going to, but there's crypto lending platforms, which is kind of freaking terrible for such a volatile market. But maybe if the prices even out and it behaves a little bit more like the stock market in the future, you could use a crypto lending platform, which is basically where you leverage your digital assets against a loan. So you get a loan for whatever their value is, and I think you can only go up to like 50% of what your total bag worth is, and they hold on to it. And if you never pay the loan back, then they just take your crypto. But you could end up owing them in the long run, because what if the market takes a shit and your bag goes down in so much value that now you owe this platform money. Anyway, it's a good way to have another kind of off ramp, if you will, so that you can do that. So another thing, right? A lot of states, a lot of banks right now don't like cryptocurrency because the whole thing got started when the 2008 financial crisis happened. Whole thing got started that way, and it's kind of like a big middle finger to the banks. Cryptocurrencies are. So some banks think that it's still shady and all that crap, even though more crime is committed with cash than it is with crypto, right? But make sure that your bank is okay with these transactions, right? Because you might get locked out of your checking account or whatever, because they could think that it's fraud, that you're buying cryptocurrencies with your debit card or your checking account. Also, go through your bank and see if you can find some fine print, right? So we're talking about exit strategy now. See if you can find some fine print that says, you can only wire or transfer X many dollars to your checking account per day without, them thinking that it's fraudulent, right? Because potentially you stand to make hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars maybe, in this market, depending on how much capital you put into it. So you don't want to have your crypto bags, be worth so much money, and you sell it, and then all of a sudden you can't even deposit into your bank account. So how do you spend that money? You can't, right? Because your bank's like, oh no, we don't want to do that. Banks like money; they want your money. Shouldn't be a problem, but see if you can find something on your bank account. Like me, I bank with a small credit union, and they're totally okay with it. So I look forward to continue to use their service as we go on. That's basically all I got. You got to get registered with all these sites. Okay, write everything down, all your information, and occasionally, like let's say if you're one of those persons, I am not, but if you're one of those persons that can just set it and forget it, cool. But you don't want to log on right now, buy a bunch of crypto, leave it on the exchange, and then go to log on 5, 6, 7 years down the road, and you can't remember how to get on the exchange. You can't remember your password, you lost your email, you're not sure which email you signed up with. You don't want to be that guy, right? So, and a lot of the ones that use two-factor authentication, make sure that you update that information before you get a new cell phone number. Because you could totally get freaking locked out just because you got a new cell phone number. All right. Because it's one of those, it sends me a text when I try to log on, and it says, this is your code, and then you enter it in, and then boom, able to log on. Make sure that you have either disable that function before you get a new phone number, or and then re-enable it after you get one, or whatever have you. So this video for my friends and family. If you're curious on how to get into it, I hope that I've given you enough insight. If you know who I am personally, don't be afraid to shoot me a direct message if you have any questions at all. I love helping people out. And just know that your investment is your investment. You're going to watch that thing freaking yo-yo in price. Okay? But that's what's exciting about it. And if you get good enough at trading, you can do it full time, potentially. It's a truly amazing asset class. It's the newest asset class. It is definitely on its way to taking over the whole financial sphere. And if you cannot see past the end of your own nose, and you can't see these things happening, then I don't know what to tell you. So just be ready for a pretty wild ride, because we're going somewhere. It's definitely not to zero. So with that, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great day or whatever. I don't really care. Stay safe and wash your hands.